गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। व्रतधर दास दमयंती देवी दासी Kirtida Wallaby. You all are welcome for our Bhakti vaibhava study of third canto Srimada Bhagvatam. We are in chapter 13, Appearance of Lord Varahadev. The first section we have finished, verse up till 5. And there were the inquiries by Vidur, further inquiries by Vidur. And now we have verses 6 to 15, conversation between Brahma and Manu. The conversation between the Swayambhu Manu and Brahma. So, verse number 6. Maitri vacha yada swabharya sadharma sardham jatah Swayambhu Manoho प्रांजलि प्रणतश्चेदं वेद गर्भम अभाषत. Ved गर्भम is Brahma, because he was impregnated with Vedas. Ved गर्भम, impregnated with Vedas. Tene Brahma Hriday, first verse. So Ved Garbha is Brahma, and the translation by Srila Prabhupada, the sage Maitreya said to Vidura after his appearance, means Manu's appearance. Manu, the father of mankind. The word man ya Manav has come from Manu. Man in English and Manav in Hindi came from Manu. Along with his wife, thus addressed the reservoir of Vedic wisdom, Veda Garbham, Brahma, with obeisance and folded hand, Anjali. So, next verse says, Tvam eka sarvabhutanam janma krittaha vritiddha pitaha tathapi naha प्रजानां ते शुश्रूषा केन वा भवेत्. So, you are the father of living entities, Brahma is saying, and the source of their sustenance, because they are all born of you. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. So this is the humble way of addressing the father or superior authority. Srila Prabhupada writes, it is the duty of his son. His son's duty is not only to make the father the source of supply for all his needs, but also when he is grown up to render service unto him. This is the law of creation beginning from time of Brahma. The father's duty is to bring up the son until he is grown, And when the son is grown up, it is his duty to render service unto the father. This is some social principle. Other thought, all parents accept their children to be something, etc. Krishna also expects his devotees to have certain qualities as stated in Bhagavad Gita. So this is the other thought, that all parents want to see some qualities in their children. So Krishna also wanted that his devotee should have certain specific qualities as described in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse number 12 onward. Tadvidi namastubhyam karmasvaha idyatmah shaktisho yat krtveha yasho visva amotraha cha bhave dagati. O worshipful one, idyam means worshipful. O worshipful one, please give us your direction for the execution of duty within our working capacity, so that we can follow it for the fame in this life and progress in the next. Yasho, fame. Vishwa, amutra means next life. Tadvidhi namastubhyam. O worshipable Lord, we offer respect to you. This word in translation is not here. This first word. Tad videhi namastubhyam. Videhi, give direction. Please give direction. Namaha. So Srila Prabhupada has not put the word obeisances. It's implied. We offer obeisance to you. Please instruct us how we can please you by performing actions according to our abilities, which after being performed will give us fame in this life and superior destination in the next life. Umutra gatihi, superior, last line. So Srila Prabhupada writes, Brahma is the direct recipient of Vedic knowledge from the personality of Godhead. And anyone discharging his entrusted duties in disciplic succession from Brahma is sure to gain fame in this life and salvation in the next. So how somebody will get fame and the liberation in next life? By following the path of Vedic system in a disciplic succession. So how somebody can get a fame and liberation? The answer is discharging his entrusted duties in disciplic succession from Brahma. And what is the specific thing in Brahma? That he has received the Vedic knowledge directly from Lord. It means it is the Vedic wisdom and disciplic succession and discharging one's entrusted duties. Three things lead to fame in this life and liberation in the next life. The disciple section from Brahma is called the Brahma Sampradaya, and it descends as follows. Now Srila Prabhupada has given the list of all these names which are in our Bhagavad Gita on the first page, disciplic succession. Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhva, Muni, Purna Pragya, Padma, Nabha, Narhari, Madhava, Akshobhya, Jaya Tirtha, Jnana Sindhu, Dayanidhi, Vidyanidhi, Rajendra, Jaya Dharma, Purushottama, Brahmanya Tiratha, Vyasa Tiratha, Lakshmipati, Madhvendra Puri. This is the link through which Gauriya Sampradaya is connected with Madhva Sampradaya. Madhvendra Puri is that link. This is our connection with Madhva Sampradaya through Madhvendra Puri. So here is Madhvendra Puri. Then the Ishwar Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar, Sri Rupa Goswami and others, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishna Das Kaviraj, Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhakti Vinod, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Now see, these lines are important. This line of disciplic succession of Brahma is spiritual. It's called Rishi Parampara. Whereas the genealogical, which means Raj Rishi Parampara. Genealogical is Raj Rishi Parampara. Succession from Manu is material. But both are on the progressive march towards the same goal of Krishna consciousness. This is like we know Krishna says, Arjun, now I am giving you this knowledge and establishing this parampara. But we don't have the list. In the list, the Arjun and the parampara, evam parampara praptam rajarishyo vidhi, we don't have a list. This parampara, which is with the Raj Rishis and genealogical order, is interrupted again and again, but the Rishi parampara continues. So there are two paramparas. From here, we get the knowledge that there are two parampara, the Raj Rishi parampara and Rishi parampara. So Rishi parampara continues, Raj Rishi parampara may be interrupted.
Prabhuji, I have a question here. The highlighted part. Prabhuji, there are two questions. The first is on the upper part, the first highlighted part. Prabhuji, what is entrusted duties? That is one. And the second is when Prabhupada writes about salvation in the next life, it means that once we leave this body, then we get salvation. Not that we have to come again and live one more life and then get salvation.
I understand the second question. Fame in this life and salvation the next means next life we will not get birth again, we will go directly to the Godhead. That's clear. What is the other question?
What are the entrusted duties? Is it same as prescribed duties?
Entrusted duties, generally we have two type of entrusted duty. You can say swadharma. So there are two type of swadharma of body and swadharma of the soul. So swadharma of body is according to the Varna ashram, that is also entrusted according to the Vedic literature. And also swadharma of the soul is same, Jivera Sarupa Krishna and Nityadas. So both, discharge, say entrusted duties means swadharma. Both swadharma, the bodily swadharma and the swadharma of the soul. And simultaneously also the special order given by the spiritual master sometime, which is a third aspect. Some special orders, like Srila Prabhupada was asked to preach in English language, or the Goswamis were asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to write books and establish temple. So this type of entrusted duties also, one is general entrusted duty for the common people and one is a special entrusted duty for the specific devotees which they accomplish. Is it clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Say, Chakravarti Pad writes about the duties. He said, among all action according to our abilities, according to our ability means varnashram generally. Please instruct us how we can follow you by performing action, which will give us, the phrase should be supplied complete fame. Now this verse number 9 to 13, Brahma to Swayambhu Manu. Now Brahma is answering. So 9 to 13 is Brahma's answer. Brahma was mortified the connection with the previous verse. Brahma was mortified when his previous 4 sons disobeyed his instruction. 3:12, 5, 6. Now the obedience of Manu was very encouraging for Brahma, and thus Brahma appreciated Manu as the ideal son. Brahma vacha Pritastubhyam aham tata swasti statvam kshitishvara yan nirvyalikena hirda shadi meti atmanarpitam. Sadi word we have in Bhagavad Gita. Anybody can recall? Yeah, Sadi man tvam parpanam. This is the Arjun's surrender to Krishna, right? Karpanya dosha upahat subhava prachami tvam dharma samudha cheta yat sreya sunishitam brvitam me shishyasteyam sadi man tvam parpanam. That same Sadi means give instruction. And Nirvilken, without reservation. So Lord Brahma said, my dear son, Tat, O Lord of the world. This is the word, Lord of the world is a word. Where is the word? Kshati Ishwara. Kshati means earth. Ishwar means the master. O master of the world, Kshati Ishwara. I am very pleased with you, and I desire all blessing for both you and your wife. Swasti astu. You have without reservation, nirvilikain, surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instruction. Sadi Mam. Srila Prabhupada writes, relationship between father and son is always sublime. What is the meaning of sublime, by the way? The meaning perfect. Of the sublime is?
Perfect.
Sorry, say again.
Is it perfect?
Perfect.
Well, something which does not need very formal accent probably. It is always there.
The devotional service is also sublime, Prabhupada writes. The origin of the word sublime is from chemistry, sublimation. When you mix two things, third thing come out without notice. There is sublimation, something like that. So it is means their relation is not formal. That there's some natural process by which the good results are always there. The father is naturally disposed with good will towards his son, always well-wishing. As Prabhupada used to write, all to all his disciples, you are ever well-wisher. And he is always ready to help the son in his progress in life. But in spite of father's goodwill, the son is sometimes misguided because of his misuse of personal independence. Now Srila Prabhupada is using this social statement with a spiritual understanding. Every living entity, however small or big he may be, has the choice of independence. If the son is unreservedly willing to be guided by the father, like if the living entity is ready to be guided by Supreme Lord through scripture and spiritual master, this is what it means. The father is 10 times more eager to instruct and guide him by all means. So if the devotee is 1% interested, God will help 10%. It's like that. The father and son relationship as exhibited here in the dealing of Brahma and Manu is excellent. Both the father and the son are well qualified, and their example should be followed by all mankind. Manu the son unreservedly asked the father Brahma to instruct him, and the father, who was full of Vedic wisdom, was very glad to instruct. The example of father of mankind may be rigidly followed by mankind, and that will advance the cause of relationship of fathers and sons. Prita Tubhyam, please with you. Within this manner of Pratyaya Eshete. Yes, okay. Let there be auspiciousness to you too, Manu and wife, because you spontaneously said, give instruction to me. The subject is not mentioned since Manu offered his ego and possessiveness to Brahma. Manu offered his ego and possessiveness. What are the two words for this in Hindi? Actually they are in Sanskrit here. Ahamta upasad and mamta. That's called, he offered his ahamta and mamta. Ahamta means ego, mamta means possessiveness. So these two things are cause of bondage. Ahamta and mamta. Ahamta leads to kartapan and mamta leads to bhoktapan. And these are the two bondage, kartapan and bhoktapan. Doership and enjoyer. Because it belongs to me, so I should enjoy. Because I have done, I am the doer. So these two words, ahamta, say ahamta and mamta, and that is karta and bhokta. They are cause of bondage. When we surrender these two, that is the meaning of surrender. Surrender means to give up these two mentalities of ego and possessiveness, ahamta, mamta. Verse number 10. एतावति आत्मजये वीरः कार्यहे उपचितैः गुरौ शक्त्यः परमतैः गृह्येत् साधरं गतः मत्सरैः. O hero, Veer, your example is quite befitting as a son in relationship with the father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy, Gat Matsarya, and who is sane, accept the order of father with great delight and execute it to his full capacity. Saadram, with great respect. When the four previous sons of Brahma, the sages Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan and Sant Kumar, refused to obey their father, Brahma was mortified and his anger was manifested in the shape of Rudra. That incident was not forgotten by Brahma, and therefore the obedience of Manu Swayambhu was very encouraging. From the material point of view, the four sages' disobedience to the order of their father was certainly abominable, but because such disobedience was for the higher purpose, they were free from the reaction of disobedience. Those who disobey their father for material grounds, however, are surely subjected to disciplinary reactions for such disobedience. Manu's obedience to his father on the material grounds was certainly free from envy. And in the material world, it is imperative for the ordinary man to follow the example of Manu. Service apachittai to the Guru, following the order should be accepted. The Kumara did not follow Brahma's order. those who have envy, gata, matsarya think, why should we follow your order? Any question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here we are talking about disobedience, but this reminded me of Meghnad, who was always following his father Ravan. So, what kind of end result a person like Meghnad would get by following his father, who is not following path of dharma? In that case, what happens probably to the son?
So there are rules for the divine and demonic creation. So that was the demonic creation. They have their rules. They followed their rules, but ultimately their rules were for the demonic disposition. So ultimately they are ruined. That is good example. It's like Prahlad did not follow the obedience of Hiranyakashipu. He was also in a asura, but he did not follow. But he is glorified because he was surrendered to the Narsinga Deva, Narayan or Vishnu or Krishna, while the Meghnad followed all the rules of the Ravan, but he has no devotional attitude. He was against the Sura. He captured the Indra as a hostage. So he was against the Sura. So he was Asura. So Asura also have their Vedas. This is called Asuric Vedic. Hiranyakashipu was speaking the all wonderful explanation to his mother and his brother's wife. Oh, this world is temporary and all this. Kans was speaking same thing to Devaki and Vasudeva after seeing the Durga Devi in the sky. So they also follow some rules, but this is demonic. So ultimate aim is only good if these rules are ultimately pleasing Vishnu. So this is a Varnashram. This is what we are thinking. Father Hassan is a Varnashram. So this Varnashram is only successful when it leads to please Vishnu. One can neglect the order of the father, etc., if he is fully fixed on the higher purpose as shown by the Kumaras. But as much as one deviates from that purpose, one gets affected by disobeying the superiors. The Lord Brahma didn't simply use Swambhu Manu for his project, but was interested in his personal progress also. Personal progress of the Manu also. Story with Priyavrta becoming the king. So Manu was helped by by the Brahma to encourage Priyavrta to rule, that Manu can go and do the tapasya. So it's not that the father was simply using him for his purpose or project, but he is also interested for his ultimate benefit. So this is something which is upcoming in 5th canto. Verse 11. Sattvam asyam apatyani means children. Sadarshani like yourself. Atmano gunai in the character, in the qualification. Uttapadaya shasha dharmena, and then shas means rule. Dharmena means with the scripture injection. Gam means mother earth. Gama Vishyanja Bhutani. Yagnahi, and perform yagya. Purusham yajaha yagya purush. So since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife, rule the world in pursuance of the principle of devotional service. Dharmena means devotional service, Prabhupada writes, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performing yagya. The purpose of the material creation by Brahma is clearly described here. So this verse is why material creation is created by Brahma. Every human being should beget nice children in the womb of his wife as a sacrifice for the purpose of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. in devotional service. In the Vishnu Puran it is said, this is the verse which is quoted in Madhya Leela, one can worship Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu by proper discharge of the principle of Varna and Ashram. There is no alternative to pacifying the Lord by execution of principle of Varna Ashram system. Vishnu worship is the ultimate aim of the human life. Those who take the license of married life for sense enjoyment must also take the responsibility to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. And the first stepping stone is the Varnashram system. Varnashram Dharma is systematic institution for advancing in worship of the Vishnu. However, if one directly engage in the process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it may not be necessary to undergo the disciplinary system of Varnashram. The other son of Brahma, the Kumara, directly engaged in devotional service, and thus they had no need to execute the principle of Varnashram Dharma. So, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Raya, he said, Varna Ashram, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, it is outside, a bahe. Varna Ashram is according to three modes of material nature. Because Brahman is in mode of goodness. And the other Varna are in a lower modes. So it is within three modes of material nature. Therefore it is material. While devotional service is beyond three modes of material nature. Therefore, one who is engaged in devotional service has nothing to do with Varna Ashram, because that is under the influence of three modes of material nature. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it is Bahaya, or it is inferior to the devotional service. Verse 12. Param. Yes.
Probably I had a question regarding this. Through certain observations, I have seen that generally speaking, people who are from India, they have more of a, how to say, in some sense, a foundation of Varnashram system. They have certain, the way they interact with other people and their family systems work. It is more aligned with Varnashram. I'm not saying it's strictly Varnashram, but it is more aligned with that. On the other hand, generally people from the western side, their family systems seem less aligned with Varnashram system. There is more freely mingling between men and women and all that stuff, right? So one observation that I have is that if you see devotees from Indian side, they are practicing devotional service, but they also have a little bit stronger foundation of Varnashram system. On the other hand, Western devotees, you will see that they are practicing devotional service, no doubt about that, but their foundations of Varnashram system are kind of lax in one sense, right? So, to give an example, they have girlfriends, boyfriends, they might marry 6 times, those kind of things, which does not quite, properly align with Varnashram system. So, when both of these parties come in the same location, I mean, we understand the principle that devotional service is supreme, everything else is actually material and it's secondary. But when both the parties come in the same place, what happens is that one party might get disturbed by the other. You understand, in the dynamics of that society, there is a problem, because you want to be you want to be materially satisfied, contented, and continue practicing devotional service. And if both these two systems are coming to the same place, there is a clash of this kind of a, so material systems clash. And when material systems clash, you are materially not contented and you might be too agitated to continue practicing devotional service. So, do you, how do we handle that scenario? Because I am seeing that, I'm right now in Mayapur, to be honest, I'm in Mayapur right now, and I see both these systems over here, and so people from a more varnashram kind of society, they might get a little bit more agitated because of what's happening in the other like non-varnashram kind of things. And those people who are in the non-varnashram, they don't care. They're there just to practice devotional service, and you know that's perfectly fine. But it's a little bit confusing about how to handle that system, because on one hand, yes, we are all here to practice devotional service, but at the same time, we also understand that we are not all pure devotees. We are all practicing devotees. We are sadhakas, and you know there has to be some, so to say, boundary walls within which we have to practice that. Right? And even Prabhupada said, a big portion of many of his words, he constantly keeps talking about one of the, so to say, one of the services he has handed over to the next generation is to establish a varnashram system, right? Because that is very conducive for practicing of devotional service. So, with all this being there, how do we handle it, right? When we see this kind of things happening.
So, Raj Vilas Prabhu, I became devotee when I read in Science of Self-Realization Prabhupada's interview to Professor Kotavasky in Russia, that Varna Ashram is spreading all over the world. They don't know. Always there is a warrior class, always there is an administrative class, always there is a mercantile class, always there is a labor class, always there is a professors and educational, let's say, class. So they are technically called Varna Ashram, but they don't know this. So this is one thing, Varna Ashram is natural. Now what you are actually saying is a culture, not Varna Ashram, but is a background of Vedic culture of the Indian people, and the Western people, they don't have a Vedic culture. Vedic culture means you know, generally we have more, you know, natural inclination to the, from the birth we have been trained to respect the elders, you know, to bow down to the seniors. You know, this is natural to the Indians. Prabhupada actually wanted that he wanted to give the pure devotional service which is above Varnashram. And but in the last days he thought that without training these, basically without training all actually, but the Western people in a Varnashram system, it will not be possible really to get them beyond three modes of material nature. Because generally they are detached. Generally they are detached from something, but they usually more interested in immediately changing from one position to another. Prabhupada, they know only how to make and break. So they have, Indian people, they follow the rules and regulation of dharma, but they are attached to the families. So they have this weakness of attachment which is not in Western devotees. But the Indians have a foundation that they will continue devotional service even slowly and gradually, but they may not give up immediately, but they will continue. While on the other side, if they are not trained into the Varna Ashram properly, then most left. I think after Prabhupada left, many devotees left because there was no cultural. Prabhupada gave them culture basically. He gave them culture to how to wear devotional cloth, how to eat, how to cook. So he gave a devotional culture, and some sincere devotees have adopted it, but it's still not most. But they are in their devotional service, they are very, very nice and good and very advanced also. So Prabhupada basically, when seeing these two extremes, he gave the example of crossing the river, a blind man and a lame man. He said Indian is a lame man because he don't have material facilities, but he has a clear vision what is absolute truth and how to approach. Western community has a lust of prosperity and wealth, but they don't have a clear vision. So if they have to cross this material world, then on the blind man's shoulder, the lame man should ride and both can cross. So Prabhupada said, like Prabhupada was a lame man himself, and the whole his follower, they were like the blind men. So he guided them, and Prabhupada gave them the path to go back home, back to Godhead. But after Prabhupada left, the system is more or less topsy turvy. So we have some crisis always with us, because the leading people, it's like if you climb on a thin limb people and you want to cross, it is not possible. They both will be stuck. So this is the situation, practically speaking. How to handle this? Many meetings, many resolution, no solution. Only the solution is take shelter of Prabhupada's books and get guided and follow the instruction of the spiritual master. And devotional service is also in third canto. You will see in a last section. These are also under three modes of material nature: devotional service in goodness, devotional service in patience, and devotional service in ignorance. So that's also is not pure devotional service. We are practicing a mixed devotional service. So this scenario will continue always. There's no way. Prabhupada wanted Varna Ashram, Devi Varna Ashram, not material Varna Ashram, but Devi Varna Ashram to establish. It means they all are Vaishnava, but they have to act according to their capabilities and interest. The all are Prabhupada said, like I am cleaning the temple, so I am not a Shudra, I am sannyasi. Now I am selling books, I am not a Vaishya. Now I am administering society, I am not a Kshatriya, I am a Vaishnava ultimately. So that is Devi Varnashram. Everybody is Vaishnava, but he is acting according to the talents and the assigned duties. So still we have to mature. We are the society which is hardly 60 year, 70-year-old. So it takes time really to mature and properly establish the system. It takes time. I think by third generation we may be able to establish something like, I think Prabhupada said sometime that by third generation we may be established, like Ganga came after effort of 3 generations. The Anshuman, Dilip and Bhagirath, the 3 tried and then Ganga came. So same thing in first canto of Bhagavatam, 3 generations of the mothers, Mahabhagavat and fathers, when they struggled and Parikshit was born and then Bhagavat appeared. So similarly after 3 generations we may be able to really become like a bona fide, a very strong hold of the Krishna conscious movement on the planet. But right now we are struggling, basically speaking.
Like Prabhuji, maybe you can shift to Jagannath Puri.
Huh?
Maybe Prabhuji can shift to Jagannath Puri.
What is?
We are actively thinking about moving to Pune, but yeah, let's see how that works out.
Yeah, Pune has a very good congregation all around, and it's very nice.
Yeah.
Pune is a spiritually vibrant city. For its Krishna consciousness, we have more than 4 good established temples and then some smaller centers. Wherever you go in Pune, you will get the association of devotees.
Yeah. We are planning to move somewhere near NBCC, Pune. So we'll see. But even
that's also
it might
good.
be while splitting the family. So we are not going to work out there.
But generally the bigger the temple, more impersonal it is. The smaller temple is more personal. Okay, welcome, Hare Krishna. So verse number 12. O king, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. See, Brahma is saying, if you give proper protection to the living beings, That is the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be good protector of the conditioned soul, certainly the master of the senses, Rishikesh, will be very pleased with you. Rishikesho anutushyati. Anu means after seeing you performing your duty and protecting the citizen. Protecting the citizen means protecting their soul, not degrading to the lower species of life. Then the Rishikesh will be Tushyanti, Anutushyanti. So, Prabhupada was asked by some of his disciples, how can I please you? And Prabhupada, after a pause, said, when you develop love for Krishna, I will be pleased. So generally, the Brahma is not selfish. They are all interested in welfare of the spiritual welfare of the living entities. Somebody can read this purport?
Yes, Prabhuji. The whole administrative system is arranged for the purpose of going back home, back to Godhead. Brahma is a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Manu is a representative of Brahma. Similarly, all other kings on different planets of the universe are representatives of Manu. The law book for the entire king society is the Manu Samhita, which directs all activities towards the transcendental service of the Lord. Every king, therefore, must know that his responsibility in administration is not merely to exact taxes from citizens, but to see personally that citizens under him are being trained in Vishnu worship. Everyone must be educated in Vishnu worship and engaged in the devotional service of Rishikesha, the owner of the senses. The conditioned souls are meant not to satisfy their material senses, but to satisfy the senses of Rishikesha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the purpose of the complete administrative system. One who knows this secret, as disclosed here in the version of Brahma, is the perfect administrative head. One who does not know this is a show bottom administrator. By training the citizens in the devotional service of the Lord, the head of the state can be free in his responsibility. Otherwise, he will fail in the onerous duty entrusted to him and thus be punishable by the supreme authority. There is no other alternative to the discharge of administrative duty.
So, this is a secret. There is a one in a preface of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada says, central point of Bhagavad Gita. In a preface of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada said, this is the central point of Bhagavad Gita. And that central point is this. Conditioned souls are meant not to satisfy their material senses, but to satisfy the senses of Rishikesh. That is the central point of Bhagavad Gita. You see the preface, this is the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Everybody is trying to be happy by satisfying his senses, but nobody has become happy yet, Prabhupada writes. Therefore, the central point of Bhagavad Gita is to satisfy the senses of Krishna instead of oneself, and that is the secret. So ultimately what Prabhupada is saying, any administrator, so even our Krishna conscious administrators, their main goal is to train the devotees in devotional service that they should go back home, back to God. Otherwise any administrator who don't know this secret is a show bottle administrator, and it's punishable under the law. Verse number 13. Yesham natushto bhagavan yagnalingo janardana tesham sharmohe aparthaya yad atmanadritta swayam. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janardhan, the Lord Krishna, is the form of to accept the result of sacrifice, yagna lingai. If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one Who does not satisfy him certainly neglect his own interest. Na adrat swayam. The effort of those who do not satisfy Lord are all useless labor, since they have no respect even for their own souls. Brahma is deputed as the supreme head of universal affairs, and he, in his turn, depute Manu and others as charges the affairs of the material manifestation, but the whole show is for satisfaction of personality of Godhead. Brahma knows how to satisfy Lord, and similarly person engaged in the line of Brahma's plan of activities also know how to satisfy the Lord. The Lord is satisfied by the process of devotional service, and that is consisting of ninefold process of hearing, chanting, etc. It is in one's own self-interest to execute prescribed devotional service, and anyone who neglects this process neglects his own self-interest. Everyone wants to satisfy his senses, but above the senses is the mind, above the mind is the intelligence, above the intelligence is individual self, and above the individual self is super self. Above even the super self is Supreme Personality of Godhead. What do you think? Super self is Paramatma, above Paramatma is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishnu, the Prime Lord and the cause of all causes, is Sri Krishna. The complete process of perfection of service is to render service to the satisfaction of transcendental senses of Lord Krishna, who is known as Janardhan. So this is the verse of Bhagavad Gita. Senses are above the intelligence. Above senses are intelligence. Above intelligence is senses are mind. Above mind is intelligence. Above intelligence is soul, and above soul is super soul. But Prabhupada has gone one step higher. Above super soul is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. And to satisfy Vishnu is the whole goal. He who is known by the process of worship, hearing and chanting is called Yagnalingai. It means Yagnalingai is Janardhan, and one who worship him by hearing and chanting. Those who do not satisfy the Lord perform useless labor, since their own Atmas are not respected. Anadrat. This means that by not respecting Lord, such persons do not even respect their own Atma. Not achieving anything for the self, they cannot be satisfied. Yen Atma supersedate. This verse you should quote in this case. The Atma is satisfied by performing devotional service. Yen Atma supersedate. What is the verse? Anybody can quote the verse? Savai puncham paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshari aitukiya pratyata yena atma supersedati. So this is devotional service is only process by which self is satisfied. Now verse number 14. Manovacha Adeshe aham bhagavato varteyami vasudana. Ami vasudan. Varteya ami vasudan. Ami vasudan, O killer of the sins. Sthanam tva ihano janehi prajanam mamacha prabho. Sri Manu said, O all-powerful Lord, the killer of all sins, I shall abide by your order. Now please let me know my place and that of the living entities born of me. So there was no earth. So they are asking, where can we create? So they were in Satyalok, because Manu is in a Satyalok. Verse 15, this section, last verse. Yada oka sarva bhutanam, oka means bridge, oka means place or village or dwelling place. Yadauk sarvabhutanam mahi magnaha maha ambasi. Mahi means earth. Magna ambasi means is it drowned in the ocean, Garbha ocean. Asyaha udharane yatano deva devya vidhiyatam. O Master of the demigod, please attend to lift the earth which is merged in the great water, because it is the dwelling place for all the living entities. It can be done by your endeavor and by the mercy of the Lord. Purport: the great water mentioned in this connection is Garbhodak ocean, which fill half of the universe. Since you know scripture, do you know where the Manu and the progeny lived in the previous kalpa? Yes, I know. In this verse, Manu explains where they lived. So where they lived, this is something. Manu purva kalpahe manuha kurtas sarpajjaha asaneti satyam janemehe yadoktaiti. Now this is now what we are going to the next section. These two things you remember. Section 16, verse 16 to 30, pastime of Svet, Vara and Swayambhu Manu Manvanta. You now see these two lines. In this section up till verse 32 or 33, there is description of two Vara avatar. So Svet Vara, whitish like moon, is described from verse 16 to 30 and appeared from the nostrils of Brahma and in Swayambhu Manvantar, first Manvantar, and his action was to lift the earth from Garbha ocean. Now there is also a description of a Neel Vara, bluish like cloud, whitish like moon, and this Vara appeared in from water, not from nostrils of Brahma, and he appeared in 6th Manvantar, Chakshus Manvantar, and this Vara lifted the earth and killed Hiranyakash. So Hiranyakash was killed by another Vara who appeared in the Chakshus Manvantar. But somehow Maitri has mixed the both. Therefore Jiva Goswami has separated these two. Is it okay? So this description which we are not going, it is about the Svetvara and Swayambhu Manvantar, first Manvantar. Maitri Vacha, Parmeshti means Brahma. Parmeshti tvapam madhyae tatha snaham avekshagam katham menam samunyesya iti dadhyau dhiya chiram. Dadhyau dhiya. Dhiya means intelligence. Dadhyau means very attentively he was meditating. Maitreya said, thus seeing the earth merge in the water, Brahma gave his attention for the long time, chiram, to how it could be lifted. Srila Prabhupada writes, according to Jiva Goswami, the topic delineated here are of different millennium. The present topics are of the Svetvara Kalp millennium. The topic regarding Chakshus millennium will also be discussed in this chapter. So what we have given is that. Verse number 17.
I have a question.
Yes.
When they always, when they refer to Earth, are they talking about the entire Bhumandala or just this planet? This particular planet we are in?
We are generally discussing the one Brahmand. One Brahmand means 14 planetary systems. One Brahmand which is covered by the 7 layers. Each layer is thicker than the other layer. So that Brahman, we are the whole description of is of the whole Brahman, and in which the planet Earth is in the middle. Because now where there is a description that Earth is in a Garbhodak ocean, so it is below the Patal Lok, and then the Manu is sitting in a Satya Lok, and then now we will see the Rishis. They will chant the Vedic hymns when they see Varha. They are in the Taplok, Janlok and Meherlok. So they all are described in this section. This is the description of one Brahmand, the 4-headed Brahma. But there are many Brahmand also which are not included here. They are more advanced. Yes?
Sorry, my question was how Mandala is considered the earthly planetary system, like where in Jambu Deep, where this planet.
Oh, this Jambu Deep is one of the island in among the 7 islands which are in this Brahman. Particularly, this is in which some are seen and some are not seen. But beyond these 7 islands which are on this Bhumandal, there is a description of something which is a heavenly planet, and Taplok, Janlok, Maharlok, Satyalok. They are beyond that. But these all is this is Bhugol, or the geography of this Earth planet. Yes, Jambu Deep. These are all different names of different Deepaka after the, I think, son of Priyavart. Each Deep is named after his son. And Jambu Deep is the one in which we are living. It has 9 tracts of land. And one among those is Bharatvarsh. There are 8 more. They are called Bhusarga. Bhuswarga means heaven on earth. That will come in 5th canto. Srijato me kshati varbhihi palavyamana rasam gata. This rasam gata, there is a purport on this rasam gata. It's not rasatal, it's not a planet rasatal, but rasam gata means earth is gone down, because earth is higher than other planets. अथातरकिम अनुसृष्टेयम असंभिः सर्गे योजितैः यस्याम हृदयादासं स ईशो विदधातु मे. Brahma thought, while I have been engaged in process of creation, the earth has been inundated by the deluge and has gone down into the depth of the ocean. What can we do who are engaged in this matter of creation? It is best to let the Almighty Lord direct us. Isha vidadhatu. Isha vidadhatu me. The devotees of Lord, who are all confident servitors, are sometimes perplexed in the discharge of their respective duties, but they are never discouraged. They have full faith in the Lord, and He paved the way for the smooth progress of devotees' duty. This is for personal application. We may have difficulties, we may have obstacles, but if we are dependent on the Supreme Lord from within, He can guide us, and that is the hope for the devotee, that he is never misguided. So rasa refer to rasatal. It actually means the general direction of rasatal. It's not rasatal planet. The Garbhodaksha ocean, it is in that direction. There would be a contradiction in saying that earth was situated in rasatal, since it also said elsewhere that earth was submerged in water. May the Lord perform His task with Dhatu. So Earth was not in Rasatal planet, it was in a direction of Rasatal, means Garbhodaksh ocean. Verse 18. Iti abhidhyayato nasa vivaratah sahasanaga varhato ko niragad anu angushta parimanika. O sinless Vidura Ananga. All of a sudden, while Brahma was engaged in thinking, a small form of boar, Toka means child, came out of the nostrils. The measurement of the creature was not more than the upper portion of the thumb. Next verse. O descendant of Bharat, while Brahma was observing him, that boar becomes situated in the sky in a wonderful manifestation, as gigantic as a great elephant. Next verse. Struck with wonder at observing the wonderful boar-like form in the sky, Brahma, with great Brahmans like Marichi, as well as the Kumaras and Manu, began to argue in various ways. They were arguing who is he, from where he came. So this is something they are doing, argue. Kim etad shukaraha vyajam satvam divyam avastitam aho bataschariyam idam nasaya me vinih sritam. Is this some extraordinary entity come in the pretense of boar, Vyajam? It is very wonderful that he has come from my nose. Is this some divine being taking the role of a pig? This form which appeared from my nostril is astonishing. Drishto anungushto shro matraha kshanata gandashila samaha. It was like a portion of thumb, now it has become like a mountain. Api Svedha Bhagavan Esha Yagno Mehe Kedayan Manaha. This is a Yagya Roop. Varaha has two things, two words you remember from now. Varaha is called Yagya Roop and is called Veda Roop. It's a Veda Roop and Yagya Roop. First of all, this boar was seen no bigger than the tip of thumb. And within a moment he was as large as the stone. My mind is perturbed. Is he the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu? Now Srila Prabhupada writes, since Brahma is supermost person in the universe, and he had never before experienced such a form, he could guess that the wonderful appearance of the boar was an incarnation of Vishnu. The uncommon feature symptomatic of the incarnation of God can bewilder even the mind of Brahma. Yagna here referred to the form of Lord, who was the Manvantar avatar. So there is in one Manvantar, there is a avatar Yagya. During this period, he disturbed Brahma's mind because of giving him doubts about the extraordinary form. So Yagya is a supreme lord who appeared from Akuti and Ruchi Prajapati. He is son of Akuti. The Akuti, Devuti and Prasuti are the three daughters of Swayambhu Manu. So Akuti married Ruchi Prajapati and their son was Yagya. And the Yagya become the Manvantar avatar. And Brahma adopted, Swayambhu Manu adopted this Yagya son of his daughter. Verse number 23. While Brahma was deliberating with his sons the Supreme Personality Godhead Vishnu rode tumultuously like a great mountain. It appears that great hills and mountains also have their roaring power because they are also living entities. The volumes of the sound vibrated is in proportion to the size of the material body. While Brahma was guessing about the appearance of Lord's incarnation as a boar, the Lord confirmed Brahma's contemplation by roaring with his gorgeous voice. The omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead enlivened Brahma and other highly elevated Brahmans by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all directions. Brahma and other enlightened Brahmans who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead are enlivened by the appearance of the Lord in any of his multi-incarnation. The appearance of the wonderful and gigantic incarnation of Vishnu as mountain-like boar did not fill them with any kind of fear, although Lord's resounding voice was tumultuous and echoed horribly in all directions, as an open threat to all demons who might challenge his omnipotency. So same sound, it is dangerous for the demons and it is pleasing for the devotees. Any example?
Prabhuji, is it blowing of the conscience at the beginning of Mahabharata?
Yes. Yes, Krishna's conch shell was pleasing to the Pandavas and it was shattering the heart of Kauravas. Verse number 25. Nishmayate ghar gharitam swa kheda. Nishma means hearing. Kshayishno maya maya sukrasya. Maya maya is a word on which there is a purport. The whole purport of this verse is on the word maya maya. Kshayishno maya maya sukrasya janastapah satya nivasinaste trebhi means three Vedas. Pravitahi munyo granam sma. When the great sages and thinkers who are resident of Janlok, Taplok and Satyalok heard the tumultuous voice of Lord Boar, which was the all-auspicious sound of all the merciful Lord. All merciful Lord is Maya Maya. They chanted auspicious chants from the three Vedas. It says, when the Brahma and other heard the granting of the merciful boar, who destroyed their lamentation and began praising the boar, then the famous sage of Janlok, Taplok and Maharlok and Brahmalok, such as Bhrigu, began praising the boar with verses from the three Vedas. The word Maya Maya is very significant in this verse. And there are three meanings of this verse, Maya. Maya means mercy. Maya also means knowledge, and Maya also means illusion. So these are the three meanings of the Maya. They can be taken according to the context. The sound which vibrated as the boar incarnation was answered by the Vedic hymns of the great sages in the planet Janlok, Taplok and Satyalok. The highest intellectual, pious living entities live in those planets, and when they heard the extraordinary voice of the boar, they could understand that the specific sound was vibrated by the Lord and no one else. Therefore, they replied by praying the Lord with Vedic hymn. The earth planet was submerged in the mired butter. On hearing the sound of the Lord, the inhabitants of higher planets were all jubilant because they knew that the Lord was there to deliver the earth. Therefore, Brahma and all sages such as Bhrigu, Brahma's other sons and the learned Brahmins were enlivened, and they concentratedly joined in praising the Lord with the transcendental vibration of the Vedic hymns. The most important of the Brahmanardya Purana verse, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Brahmanardya Purana has this verse. Hare Nam is in a Brahmanardya Purana, right? Acharya has a right to say, right. Hare Nam, that is Hare Krishna. This is in Kali Sankarana Upanishad. Chakravarti Pad writes, Maya means merciful or knowledgeable, or it can mean not having the disease. Another meaning of Maya. Not having disease. Amaya means disease of ignorance. The sound resembled the grunting of the pig. Gargharitam. The pig destroyed their lamentation. This is 3b Vedas is okay. Verse 26. Tesham satam vedavitan murti Brahma avadharya atma gunanuvadam Vindyaha bhuyo vibodhyayaya Gajendra lilo jalam avivesh. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the world after roaring again in reply to the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. The Lord is the object of Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him. The form of the Lord in any shape is always transcendental, full of knowledge and bliss, knowledge and mercy. The Lord is the destroyer of all material contamination because of form is personified of Vedic knowledge. All the Vedas worship the transcendental form of the Lord. In the Vedic mantra, the devotees request the Lord to remove the glaring effulgence because it covers his real face. That is the verse of each Upanishad. The Lord has no material form, but his form is always understood in terms of Vedas. The Vedas said to be the breath of the Lord. Now this is a very nice Prabhupada's statement. Concentrate on this statement. The Vedas are said to be breath of the Lord, and that breath was inhaled by Brahma, the original student of Vedas. The breathing from the nostril of Brahma caused the appearance of Lord Boar. Therefore, Boar incarnation of Lord is personified Vedas. So please note down this statement. Why Varadev is called Veda personified? Why Varadev is called Veda personified? This statement by Prabhupada is very informative. Remember that. The glorification of incarnation by the sages and the higher planet consists of factual Vedic hymn. Whenever there is a glorification of Lord, it is to be understood that Vedic mantras are being rightly vibrated. The Lord was therefore pleased when such Vedic mantras were chanted, and to encourage his pure devotees, he rode once more and entered the water to rescue the submerged earth. The boar is described as the personification of Veda Vitan Murti. Since the Veda arises from his breathing, he does not have the material form. The matter of play on having the Vedas appear from the nostrils. The Lord then appeared from the nostrils of the Brahma as a boar. Knowing the Vedas, Brahma, recited by the sages to be description of his qualities, he entered the water. So remember this statement. Is it okay? Everybody noted that? Why Varahadev is called Veda Murti. This statement everybody should note, okay? So we are 7 students, right? Verse number 27. Before entering the water to rescue Earth, the boar flew in the sky, slashing his tail, his hard hair squaring. His very glance was luminous, and he scattered the clouds in the sky with his hooves and his glittering white tusks. When the Lord is offered prayers by his devotees, his transcendental activities are described. Here are some of the transcendental features of the boar. As the residents of the upper 3 planetary system offered their prayers to the Lord, it is understood that his body expanded throughout the sky, beginning from topmost planet Brahmalok to Satyalok. It is stated in Brahma Samhita that his eyes are sun and moon. Therefore, his very glances over the sky was illuminating as sun and moon. The Lord is described herein as Mahidhar, which means either a big mountain or the sustainer of earth. Mahidhar. Mahi means mother earth. Dhar means one who holds. Like Gadadhar, like Govardhandhar, Govardhandhari, Mahidhar. And the other meaning is Mahidhara is a mountain-like pig. In other words, the Lord's body was big and hard as the Himalayan mountain. Otherwise, how was it possible that he kept the entire earth on the support of his white tusk? Whole earth planet was just a small ball on the white tusk. So how big was the Varahadev? The poet Jayadev, a great devotee of the Lord, has sung the incident in his prayers for the incarnation. Vasati dasana sikhare dharani tavalagha sashane kalanka kaleva nimagan kaeshavadhirta sukara rupa Jai Jagadish Hare. All glories to light Keshav, Krishna, who appeared as boar. The earth was held between his tusks, which appeared like the scar on the moon. Kalanka Sashi Kalevar. This verse is meditation on boar in the water. He had his tail raised high. He descended to the 3 worlds from the Brahmalok to the path of the sky. On the path of the sky, Khachar, Kha means sky. His skin had tough hair. His glances are like light of the sun. He has the lifter of the earth, the huge like a mountain. Verse number 28. ग्रहाणेन पृथिव्याः पदवीं विजिघ्राह क्रोडापदेशः स्वयम् अधवराङ्गः करालदंष्टो अपि अकरालदृग्भ्याम् उदवीक्ष्य विप्राङ्गणतोषिद्धकाम्. He was personally the Supreme Vishnu and was therefore transcendental, yet because he had the body of a hog, he searched after earth by smell. His tusks were fearful, and he glanced over the devotees, Brahmins engaged in offering prayer. Thus he entered the water. Somebody should read the purport.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
We should always remember that the form of a hog in material. The hog form of the Lord was not materially contaminated. It is not possible for an earthly orb to presume a gigantic form spreading throughout the sky, beginning from the Satyaloka, evolved by the forms or circumstances. Therefore, the redemption of the form of a boar is only his pastime, embodying all ways of transcendency. But since he had assumed the form of a boar, he began to search out the earth by smelling just like a hawk. The Lord can perfectly play a part of all living entity. The gigantic creature of the boar was certainly very fearful for all non-devotees, but to the pure devotees of the Lord, he was not at all fearful. On the contrary, he was so pleasingly charming upon his devotees that all things felt transcendental happy. Hare Krishna.
So, what is in the purport? Lord can perform any pastime of any living entity. He play the part of any living entity. Like a boar, he smelled the earth. So Lord was also smelling earth like boar, but his body is not like an ordinary boar, but it is transcendental Satchidananda Vigraha. And he was fearful for the demons, and he is pleasing for the transcendental happiness of the devotees. This verse describes his actions. Being the Veda Atharva Angaha, he played imitating boar, Kroda Upadeshaha, using the ornament. The verse confirmed that Lord was really a boar. Apanoti defined the word which denied the obvious, established something else. An example is that woman is like a golden creeper, which with fruits imitating breast. Come means water. So it means he was really acting like a boar. Verse 29. Diving into the water like a gigantic mountain, like a giant mountain, Lord Boar divided the middle of the ocean, and two high waves appeared as the arms of the ocean, which cried loudly, if praying to the Lord, O Lord of all sacrifice, please do not cut me into two. Kindly give me protection. Shukra Yagneshwara Pahi Meti. Yagneshwara Pahi Meti. Pahi means protect. Even the great ocean was perturbed by the falling of the mountain-like body of the transcendental boar, and it appeared to be frightened, as if death was manifest, imminent. This verse examined the sound of the ocean at that time. The boar had a body like a mountain of thunderbolts. Ocean was spilled with the force of the hard-bodied boar diving. The ocean in pain, fearing his life was ending, cried out while extending his arms in the form of long waves. O Lord of sacrifice, Yagneshwar, please protect me, Ma Pahi Ma. He cried out. Last verse of this section of the Svetvara. The boar penetrated water with his hooves, which were like sharp arrows, and found the limit of the ocean, although it was unlimited. He saw earth, the resting place for all living entities, beings, lying as it was in the beginning of creation, and he personally lifted it. The word Rasayam is sometimes interpreted to mean Rasatal, the lowest planetary system, but that is not applicable in this connection according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The earth is 7 times superior to the other planetary systems, namely Tal, Atal, Talatal, Vital, Rasatal and Patal. It is superior to all these. Therefore, the earth cannot be situated in the Rasatal planetary system. It is described in the Vishnu Purana, in the Vishnu Dharma. Therefore, the Lord found the earth on the border of the Garbhodaksha ocean. where the planet rests during the devastation at the end of Brahma's day. So same thing. Rasayam, Rasatal is same verse. He saw the earth there in water. It will be said Salileswa Kurakranta. He placed the earth on the water which had been attacked by his hooves. The earth which is called the shelter of the Jivas, Jivadhani, was resting there as previously during the Delhi destruction. He protected the earth personally, since the boar is also known as form of the Vedas. Now this section 31 to 33. This describes the Neel, Vara and Chakshus Manvanta. Though it is mixed, he will kill the Hiranyakash. He appeared from water, not from nostril. Lord Boar very easily took the earth on his tusk and got it out of water. Thus he appeared very splendid. Then his anger glowing like a Sudarshan wheel, he immediately killed the demon Hiranyaksha, although he tried to fight with the Lord. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the Vedic literature describes incarnation of Lord Vara in two different devastations, namely Chakshasu devastation and Swayambhu devastation. This particular appearance of the boar incarnation actually took place in the Swayambhu devastation, when all the planets other than the higher ones, Jan, Mahartam, Satya, merged in the war of devastation. This particular incarnation of the boar was seen by the inhabitant of the planets mentioned above. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti suggests that the sage Maitreya amalgamated both the boar incarnation and different devastation and summarized them in his description to the Vidura. Okay, what's next verse? In Srimad Bhagvatam, we can often time several things combined like here, and for example in Kapil's description of a praying jiva. They are sometimes they think same things, different places. This is because of different mantra, or because of the difference of kalpas. 32. Thereupon the Lord Boar killed the demon within the water, just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord become smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish when digging in the purple earth. Verse 33. This is the shape. Tamala Neelam Sita Danta Kotya. This is this Vara. Then the Lord, playing like an elephant, suspended the earth on the edge of his curved white tusk. He assumed the bluish complexion like that of Tamal tree, and thus the sages headed by Brahma could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offer respectful obeisance unto him. In the Shvetvara called first day, in the first month of 51st day of Brahma's life. Shvetvara Kalp is when half life of Brahma is over 50 years. It is 51 a year. First month, first day is called Vara Kalp. At the beginning of Swayambhu Manvantar, Shvetvara, white in color, appeared from the nostril of Brahma and filled up the earth, lifted the earth. Then he disappeared. In the sixth Chakshvat Manvantara, when there was a sudden deluge, Neelvara, black in color, appeared in the water, lifted the earth and killed Hiranyaksha. In the present section of Maitreya combined both appearance in this narration. This can be understood from explanatory verses of the Laghu Bhagavatam by Jiva Goswami. The boar avatar appeared twice, first in Swayambhu Manvantar from the Brahma's nostril and in order to lift the earth, and the second time during Chakshus Manvantar, appearing from the water. The boar with tusk assumed the four-legged animal form to kill Hiranyaksha and lift earth. According to some authorities, however, this form is half man and half boar. Sometimes the boar avatar is black like a cloud and sometimes white like a moon. The form of sacrifice, he is very strong. Endowed with these two colors. It is stated in the scripture that Hiranyaksha was born through Daksha, who was the son of Prachetas during the reign of Chakshus Manvantara. Thus, the appearance of the boar avatar during the reign of Chakshus Manvantara is confirmed by information about the birth of Daksha during that time. Daksha was the son of Prachetas in the lineage of Uttanpad. Daksha's daughter was Diti. Hiranyakashipu was his son of Diti. At the beginning of first kalp of the Brahma, Swayambhu Manu hand over Brahma Swayambhu produced no son. Thus the Prajata, Daksha, Diti, Hiranyaksha could not have been existed then. The truth was be described in this way. Thus the Maitreya, being asked by Vidura, narrate the activity of both appearance of the Vara in one story. It is mentioned in the Matsya Purana that there was a pralaya during the Swayambhu Manu's period because of curse of the sage upon Swayambhu Manu. It is mentioned in the Vishnu Dharmuttara that the will of the Lord there was a sudden deluge during the reign of Chakshu Manvantara. Anuvakas are the Vedic prayers. They prayed with the prayers similar to those. So this is the information about the two Vara. Now the next section is the offering prayers. Prayers by sages unto Vara. They will go till 45, verse 45. So Brahma and all rishis, they are now offering their prayers to Varadev. Rishya uchuho jitam jitam te ajita yagna bhavan priyam tanum swam paridhunvante namaha paridhunavate namaha yadaro mahagareshu nilayo adhyas tasmai namaha karana sukarayate. All the sages uttered with great respect, O unconquerable enjoyer of all sacrifice, all glories and all victories unto you. You are moving in your form of personified Vedas, and in the hair holes of your body the ocean are submerged. For certain reasons to lift the earth, you have now assumed the form of a boar. The Lord can assume any form he likes, and in all circumstances he is the cause of all causes. Since his form is transcendental, he is always the Supreme Personal Godhead, as he is in the casual ocean in the form of Mahavishnu. Innumerable universes generate from the holes of his bodily hairs, and thus his transcendental body is Vedas personified. He is the enjoyer of all sacrifice. He is the unconquerable Supreme Personal Godhead. He is never to be misunderstood to be other than Supreme Lord because of his assumed the form of boar to lift the earth. That is the clear understanding of the sages and great personality like Brahma and other residents of the higher planetary system. The demon has been conquered by you, Tejitam. O unconquerable Lord, glory to you, Ajit, protector of sacrifice, Yagna Bhavana. You are the cause of all sacrifice. You are the three Vedas, Triyam, O cause of all universe. Next verse. O Lord, your form is worshipable by performance of sacrifice, but souls who are simply miscreants are unable to see it. All the Vedic hymn, Gayatri and others are in the touch of your skin. In your bodily hairs is a push grass. In your eyes is a clarified butter. And in your four legs are the four kinds of fruitive activities. Actually, four kinds of fruitive activities are Chatu Hotram. So what is that? See here. O Lord, sinful cannot see your form as sacrifice. From whose skin arose the verses, from whose hair arose the kush grass, and from whose eyes arose ghee, and from whose feet arose four hota. Who are these four hotas? We will see here. There is a class of miscreants who are known in the words of Bhagavad Gita as Vedavadi, Vedavad Rataha, are so-called strict followers of Vedas. They do not believe in the incarnation of the Lord. What to speak of Lord's incarnation as a worship of Lord? They describe worship of the different forms or incarnation of Lord as anthropomorphism. In the estimation of Srimada Bhagvatam, these men are miscreant, and in Bhagavad Gita, they are called not only miscreant but also fools and lowest of the mankind, and said that their knowledge has been plundered by the illusion due to their atheistic temperament. For such condemned person, the Lord incarnate as gigantic hog is invisible. These strict followers of the Vedas, who despite the eternal form of the Lord may know from Srimad Bhagavatam that such incarnation are personified form of Vedas. The boar's skin, his eyes, and his bodily hair holes are all described here as different parts of the Vedas. He is therefore the personified form of Vedic hymns, and especially carrying Gayatri mantras. They praise Varha as the form of sacrifice in 4 verses. 4 verses means from this verse number verse 35 to 38. Vara's body as a form of sacrifice. Saying that the verses of the Vedas are in his skin means that his skin is the cause of the verses. Absence of the long vowel in the brohi is okay. Chatra Hotam refer to 4 action of the Hota, Advaryu, Udgata and Brahma. These are the 4 Hotas in a Yajna. So these are the 4 Hotas. Next verse. Charka, Tunda, Asti, these are the all articles used in the Yajna. O Lord, your tongue is plate of sacrifice, your nostril is another plate of sacrifice, and your belly is the eating plate of sacrifice, another plate of sacrifice, and the holes of your ears. In your mouth is Brahma's plate of sacrifice, your throat is the plate of sacrifice known as Soma, and whatever you chew is known as Agnihotra. Now the technical names are here. The sacrificial ladle called Shurka arose from the tip of your mouth. The ghee ladle called Surva from your nostril. The Ida vessel arose from your stomach. The Som container arose from your ears. And Prashrita vessel appeared from your mouth. The Soma ladle arose from the space in your mouth. The chewing of the offering is our fire sacrifice. So these are all part of the Vedas. Now here is some purport. Vedavadis say that there is nothing more than Vedas and perform of sacrifice mentioned in the Vedas. They have recently made a rule in their group to formally observe daily sacrifice. They simply ignite a small fire and offer something whimsically. But they do not strictly follow the sacrificial rules and regulations mentioned in the Vedas. It is understood that by regulation there are different plates of sacrifice required, such as Sharkasra, Brahi, Chaturhotra, Ida, Chamsha, Parashitraha, Graha, Agnihotra. One cannot achieve the result of sacrifice unless one observes the strict regulation. In this age, there is practically no facility for performing sacrifice in strict discipline. Therefore, in this age of Kali, there is a structure regarding such sacrifice. It is explicitly directed that one should perform Sankirtan Yajna and nothing more. The incarnation of Supreme is a Yagneshwar. And unless one has respect for the incarnation of Lord, he cannot perfectly perform sacrifice. So Vedvadis, they don't respect the incarnation, so their sacrifice is useless. In other words, taking shelter of the Lord and rendering service to Him is the factual performance of all sacrifice exceptional here. Different plates of sacrifice supposed to be different parts of the body of Lord's incarnation. In Srimada Bhagvatam 11th canto, it is explicitly directed that one should perform Sankirtan Yajna to please the Lord. Incarnation as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This should be rigidly followed in order to able to achieve the result of Yajna performance. Shuruk is a large sacrificial ladle. It appeared from the tip of the mouth. Shurva appeared from the nostrils. Thus, it means the place in the mouth. Okay. Verse 37.
Krishna Prabhuji?
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have a question regarding the previous verse. We know that from Bhagavad Gita that the purpose of Vedas is to know Krishna. So, Prabhuji, when Vedas contain no information of incarnations, then how do we understand Krishna from Vedas only? How is this connected, Prabhuji?
Well, that verse in Bhagavad Gita said, Krishna says, I have compiled Vedas and I know the purpose of Veda, and purpose of Veda is to know me. That is the verse in Bhagavad Gita. So, that is the essence of the Veda. Veda has a different section, Karma Kand section, Gyan Kand section and Upasana Kand. So 3/4 of the Veda is Karma Kand only. And 1/4 is mostly Jnana Kand, which is Upanishad. But actually the Upasana Kand, which is devotion, is very small and not easily found. Therefore, Narad Rishi told Vyasdev that you have divided Vedas and you have written so many Puranas and everything, but mostly there is only description of the Karma Kand. The real purpose of Veda you have not described. Therefore, now you sit in meditation and produce Bhagavad Purana, which will give the essence of the Vedas. So Vedanta Sutra is the last revelation of Vyasadeva, and the purport of the Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagvatam, which is our Nyaya Prasthan. So usually Veda deal with Karma Kand, and most of the people who follow the Veda, they do Karma Kand. And some people who follow the Vedas, they only study Upanishad, they are Jnanis. So those who do Karma Kand are called Karmis, those who follow the Jnana Kand are called Jnanis, although the Upanishad are called Jnanis, and those really who know the purpose of Veda is Krishna, they are following Upasana Kand, like the Gopal Tapani Upanishad, in which there is a description of the devotion to Krishna. So that part is a very confidential part of the Veda, which only devotees follow that path.
So, Prabhuji, if somebody is like just focused on Vedas, can we say that there is a high chance he will become Mayavadi, not a devotee?
No, see, Mayavadis also follow the Vedas. but they follow the Gyan Kand of the Veda, which usually is the intermediate, bring us to the impersonal aspect of the God generally. They also follow Veda. Hare Krishna. Moreover, O Lord, the repetition of your appearance in the desire is the desire of all the kinds of initiation, diksha. Your neck is the place for 3 desires. Your tusks are the result of the initiation and the end of all desires. Your tongue is the prior activities of initiation. Your head is the fire without sacrifice, as well as the fire of worship. And your living force are the aggregate of all desires. These are all technical words for daksha, diksha. Diksha anujanmaha upasade upasdaha. So these are the word diksha. Diksha, sacrifice aroused from your many appearances. Upasada, sacrifice aroused from. These are different type of sacrifices. So there are different type of sacrifices. There are 2, generally they are into 2 parts. One is called kartu, another is called yagna. So what is the difference between the 2 we will come across. So these are the diksha, means initiation of certain type of sacrifice. So there are different type of sacrifice. So daksha, a sacrifice arises from your many appearances. Upasada, sacrifice arises from your neck. The prayaniya and udayaniya sacrifice arises from your teeth. Pravragya, sacrifice arouse from your tongue. And satya and avastitya, fire constituting the kartu. Kartu is the Vedic yajna, in which there is soma, juice, arouse from your head. And piling of the brick arouse from your 5 life years. Prabhupada has no purport. Say diksha referred to sacrifice requiring special initiation. It's like Vajpayee sacrifice can only be done by Brahmins. Ashwamedh for Kshatriya. So that Vespayan something for Vaishya. So there are different sacrifice. So who will be initiated for sacrifice? During the sacrifice, person is initiated to perform sacrifice as a yajman. Is repeated appearance of upasada, 3 special sacrifices arose from your neck. Praniya means the sacrifice after initiation. Udyaniya is the final sacrifice. These arose from the teeth. Pravargya is the rite preceding upasada sacrifice using Mahavir vessel. Satya is fire without performing sacrifice. Avasthya is the domestic fire. They together form kartu. They arouse from your head. Lying the brick, chittaya, arouse from your life, 5 life year. Last verse of the sacrifice. Somastu retaha sevanane avastitaha. O Lord, your semen is the sacrifice called Soma Yajna. Your growth is the ritualistic performance of mourning. Your skin and touch sensation are 7 elements of Agnishtoma sacrifice. Your bodily joints are symbols of various other sacrifices performed in 12 days. Therefore, you are the object of all sacrifice called Soma and Asoma, and you are the bound by the Yajna only. O Lord, Soma arouse from your semen. The time for morning rites arouse from your seat. The 7 type of sacrifice arouse from your 7 dhatus. The Shatra sacrifice arouse from your joints. You are the all sacrifice without Soma. With and without Soma, you are bound by the devotion expressed in sacrifice. There are 7 kinds of routine yajna performed by the follower of Vedic rituals. They are called Agnishtama, Atyagnishtama, Ukteha, Sodashi, Vajpaya, Atiratra, and Aptroyama. Anyone performing such yajna regularly is supposed to be situated with the Lord. But anyone who is in contact with the Supreme Lord by discharging devotional service is understood to have performed all different varieties of yajna. Sevanani means the time for rituals during morning. Avasthiti means seat. Sanstha Vibhed refers to Agnishtoma. Atyagnishtoma, Utka, same 7 type of sacrifices. They arise from 7 dhatus. Shatrani refers to many sacrifices performed over 12 days. Yagna referred to sacrifice. Now remember only this one. Yagna referred to sacrifice without soma. And Kartu referred to sacrifice using soma. Because there are Kartu is a Vedic sacrifice and Yagna is a Puranic sacrifice. So usually Indra and Devata, they do the Kartu. Indra is called Sat Kartu, in which there is a Soma. So with Soma is Kartu, without Soma is Yagya. Now next part, 34 to 45, now verse 39. Namo namaste akhila mantra devata dravyayah sarvah kritave kriyatmane vairagyah bhaktyaha atmajaya anubhavita jnanayah vidyah gurave namo namaha. O Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and are worshipable by universal prayers, Vedic hymns and sacrificial ingredients. We offer obeisance unto you. You can be realized by pure mind freed from all visible and invisible material contamination. We offer respectful obeisance unto you as the supreme spiritual master of knowledge in devotional service. We offer repeated respect to you who are all material for sacrifice, the devatas and the mantra, who are the whole sacrifice and are the form of all things related to sacrifice. We offer repeated respect to you, the Guru of knowledge, who should give realized knowledge by conquering our mind through bhakti endowed with material detachment. The qualification of bhakti or devotional service to the Lord is that devotees should be free from all material contaminations and desires. This freedom is called vairagya, or renouncement of material desires. One who engages in devotional service to the Lord according to the regularity principle is automatically freed from material desire, and in that pure state of mind one can realize the personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead being situated in everyone's heart, instruct the devotee regarding pure devotional service so that he may ultimately achieve the ascension of Lord. Tesham satyuktanam bhajatam priti purva dadadami buddhi yogam tam yenma upiyanti te. One has to conquer the mind, and one may do it by following the Vedic rituals and by performing different types of sacrifices. Ultimate end of all these performances is to attain bhakti, or the devotional service to the Lord. Without bhakti, one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The original Personality of Godhead are his innumerable expansions of the Vishnu, are the only object of worship by all the Vedic rituals and sacrificial performances. So I am just going back to the purport. What is the contamination? What is material contamination? How you understand what is material contamination?
Sense gratification.
Say again?
Our sense gratification, nothing to do with Krishna.
Okay, sense gratification is influenced by or instigated by or inspired by what?
These are modes of material nature.
Yeah, that is the right answer. The contamination is influence of three modes of material nature. And one meaning of vairagya is giving up the material desires. The other meaning of vairagya is vishesha rag. If we have a special attachment for devotional service, then we will automatically give up the material desires. Param drishtra nivartate raso vayapasu. So if we develop a special attachment to the devotional service and the form of the Lord, then material desire and material contamination automatically disappears. So vairagya, usually the Vaishnavas are called vairagi because they are not tyagi, they are vairagi. Tyagi means artificially you want to give up material desires. Vairagi means because you have taste for this devotional service, therefore automatically the material desire disappear. So summarizing that Vara is Yagya Rupa, he offered respect to Vara. So Dadami with the ultimate devotional service. Well, we can do till verse 40 today. I think time is over. It's a 50 verses in this chapter. So tomorrow we will finish this and go to the next chapter. Is it okay? O lifter of the earth with its mountains, which you have lifted, and with your tusk, is situated as beautifully as the lotus flower, with leaves sustained by an infuriated elephant just coming out of the water. O Lord, O lifter of the earth with its mountain held by you on the tips of your tusk appears beautiful. It's like a lotus with its leaves held on the tusk of mad elephant rising from the water. So he looks like a big elephant and the earth is on his tusk. The fortune of the earth planet is praised because of its being specifically sustained by the Lord. Its beauty is appreciated and compared to that of lotus flower situated on the trunk of an elephant. As a lotus flower with leaves is very beautifully situated, so the world with its many beautiful mountains appeared on the tusk of Lord Bull. This verse expressed the good fortune of the earth. Previously it was described that the boar lifted up the earth. The earth is now described. The holder of earth, Bhubhadhara, along with the mountain, Sabhudhara. The earth appear beautiful. The earth appear like a lotus along with its leaf held on the tusk of the mad elephant coming out of the water. 1 hour. The high and low mountain on the earth are compared to the tips of the lotus bud and stalks. Analogy. Now verse 40 to 41. With earth on your tusk you appear like, this is a glorification of Varadev with the earth on his tusk. So these verses are 40 and 41. And then the last verses will be these prayers and we'll end it tomorrow. I think it's okay. Any question or comment?
Guruji, just one question from my side. So when the earth was submerged in water, what happened to the living entities living on earth at that point of time? Were they not like
it says earth only went down during devastation. So living entities already entered into the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Any question or comment? We are going still.
Wasn't it that time that when Swayambhuva and Satyupa came, so the whole point was that the creation had to be started with the pyramid of the couple, right?
It appears every time there is a creation. It as a Svet Varaha Kalpa. I think in a previous chapter we have read that one is called Brahma Kalpa when Brahma appeared the first time. And then there is a other Kalpa is called Padma Kalpa. Padma Kalpa is the last day of the first 50 years of Brahma. Today we have read that this is the first day of second half of life of Brahma, where there is a Svet Varaha Kalpa. So this is the history of Svet Varaha Kalpa. First day of the second half of Brahma's life. Usually every time Brahma sleep everything, he forget. When he get up, then he has to create again. We are going slow, I am sorry.
No, Prabhuji, we are totally enjoying Shloka by Shloka. This is beautiful.
Let's see when we finish.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I had one question. During one of the verses that we covered today, you spoke about Ahamta and Mamta, right? Like when
Yes, this is Manu surrendered his ego and his possessions. Yes.
Is there any relationship between the word Mamta that is spoken about there and the Hindi word Mamta that we talk about, which is motherly affection, right?
Mamta has two. Yeah, there's a different meaning. That is called Mamatva means possessiveness. Like mother has a possessiveness for the child. So Mamatva, generally Mamatva means possessiveness. And which actually which means I am the owner of that. So these two things are cause of bondage in material world, Mamatva and Ahamatva. Aham means ego, and because of the ego we think I am doer, and because Mamatva we think it is mine, therefore I should enjoy. So that is called Karta and Bhoktapan. So Kartapan and Bhoktapan is called a cause of bondage. Lord is Bhokta and he is Sarva Karana Karanam. So we want to imitate him, and that is because of enviousness, and that is the cause of our suffering and rotting in the material world. So Manu surrendered both to Brahma, his father and his spiritual master.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So tomorrow again 6 o'clock we'll meet as we end here. Vancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam